Alright, so we lost a lot of footage when the hard drive on my trusty old MacBook Air crashed on me. But basically, this episode is going to be of the footage that I did get of us working on the car before it went to have the chassis painted. So we got the real seat fit up in here, this Kevlar Recaro. Alex came down yesterday evening and we went over his seating position just to finalize everything. We have here the pedal box mounted, and then Shane made this footrest and dead pedal setup. Definitely nailed it. Good looking piece. Needs a little trim up still now that we move the pedals a little bit. Steering column stuff is almost all done as well. Plate in there in the factory thing, and then used some sheet metal to form a plate for the firewall bearing to keep it from having such an extreme angle on the bearing and binding up. And then, let's see, started populating stuff in the back of the car. Little boxes. We have the cell still in its place. That's not going anywhere, but we did locate fire suppression bottle. It's not fully bolted in, but it does sit straight there. We have our radium header tank mounted up here. That's our high point, our fill and our bleed. Battery mounted here. Our Messier water pump is mounted as well right here by the radiator, so it'll just come right out of the bottom, whoop, right in there and then out. And then our upper hose will come down, run parallel with that, and then we're going to run them around through there, and they're going to actually bend around that fire suppression bottle there. And then our radiator hoses and fuel lines will go through that little bulkhead plate right there. We left a little void here. Nitrous bottle actually fits right there. I'm not going to run nitrous this season, but in the future it's a good place to put it. Nice and easy to get to and change, just like this coal suit box, which is also conveniently located now in its forever home. So in one of the previous videos we mentioned that we still had some work to do to the rear subframe, and this is that work. Suspension pickup point modification. The rear upper arm we move up further, and that decreases the camber gain. And then we're also going to install these anti-squat brackets from Walker Pro Motorsports. Known Russell a long time through drifting. The past couple years he has been Chris Forsberg's spotter and chassis guy, and he came up with these little things that actually move the link down and forward a bit. And they tested these on Chris's car, and they seem to work quite well for them, so he is now offering them to the public in this convenient weld-on bracket. So I'm going to put these on right now for you. Alright, we got the flange all cleaned up and the original stud is removed. As you can see, it was a very simple process. Now, all we're going to do is kind of eye up the center. We're going to eye up the center here. This is a little bit of play there because the factory weld could be a little wonky. We're going to eye that up, and then this side here, you see there's a hole in the subframe there. We're going to line this up, just barely covering that hole completely. And that puts it just in the right spot. It should basically move the center line of this stud to the bottom of this flange here that you weld it to. So we got the inside of this thing welded, and as you can see, we left a little nub there, and that's just so that your scrutineer or tech inspector knows where the original pickup point is. In Formula Drift, for instance, you have to leave the original mounting hole, and because this isn't a hole, it's a stud, we went ahead and just left a little bit of the stud just so there's no doubt where the original pickup point was. Now I'm going to weld the perimeter of it. And there we have it, fully welded on, ready for a coat of paint or powder coat, or wherever we're going to send this one. So per Russell, these new longer, well, what will be longer and lower traction links creates a lower and longer anti-squat instant center with less shift throughout its travel, right? Because your arms are going to now be longer. Another cool feature of them is that because they are longer and a little bit lower, these also smooth out the bump steer curve, so that equals less toe in under compression. Sadly, that's all the footage I have of this thing left before it went to the paint shop. But as you can see, we got it back from paint, and we've immediately started bolting things to it for good. So that will be in the next video, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching.